Welcome to this tutorial on advanced tagging, marking, and diagramming. Let's begin by bringing up the tag window and take a closer look at some of the options here. First of all, let's see how we can create and reorganize the tags. To create a tag, simply select the tag you would like to be the parent of your new tag and press the Insert key on your keyboard. Type in the name of the new tag and press Enter. To delete a tag, simply select it and hit the Delete key. You can double-click on the comment field to change or add a comment, the FG color, BG color, and BG fill fields to change the foreground color, and background fill for the tag. If we double-click the Enable checkbox, this tag and all the tags under it are disabled for the current view. We'll look at views in just a moment. Besides adding and deleting tags, we can move tags up and down by pressing Ctrl-U and Ctrl-D, and move tags to a different parent by selecting the tag we want to move and pressing Ctrl-X, and then selecting its new parent and pressing Ctrl-V. When a tag is moved that has children, all its children move with it. Under the BG Fill field, we have several options for what kind of fill we would like our note to have. We can give it a simple color, a gradient, an image, or a pattern. You can add your own images by simply placing them in the Pictures directory of where you installed ScrollTag. Let's take a look at the gradients. We can edit an existing gradient by selecting it and clicking the Edit button. At the top left, we can see that there are three different types of gradients: linear, radial, and conical. Both linear and radial gradients also have three different types of spreads for how the colors repeat. Below this, we can see the different colors and their spacing, which we can move and modify with our mouse. Probably the easiest way to learn how the different settings work is to simply play with these settings and see what effect they have on the gradient. Look at some of the different kinds of gradients we can create. Now let's see how we can use these different background fill options on notes. All of the options for different background fills use a feature in ScrollTag called the overlay. The overlay is what allows ScrollTag to draw onto the text in the text panel. Any type of lines, pictures, icons, gradients, or patterns are drawn onto this graphic overlay. ScrollTag can export and print the text with your notes and the overlay to different formats, such as PDF or image. But the overlay cannot be copied into the clipboard, exported to a document, or drawn in the Notes window. Let's add a note to some text to show how to add graphics to the overlay. All of the different options for the overlay are under the combo box called the overlay type. If this option is set to none, our note will not draw anything to the overlay. All of the other options on the tag window, except the background fill, are available to all notes without the overlay being enabled. Under the overlay types, we have a number of different shapes, lines, arcs, icons, and other graphics. Each one of the different overlay types uses the background color and background fill differently to draw onto the text. Let's try some of the different options to see what they look like. Let's begin by looking at some of the different kinds of lines. We can have straight lines with or without arrows. Or we can have curved lines with different kinds of curves. Now let's look at some of the shapes. We can have rectangles with or without borders, rectangles with rounded corners, or ovals. Notice how the background fill fills in the background. We also have two different places where we could put icons on words. We can also place the text of our notes either below our text or in the margin. When placing it below the text, it may be helpful to turn on vertical spacing to allow room for notes there. For text in the margin, we need to turn on the margin so that there is room for the note in the text. We can also have arcs in the margin when it is enabled. And the arcs can have notes in them as well, depending on how much room there is in the margin. Next, let's take a look at how we do block diagramming in ScrollTag. It's simple. All we need to do is make sure block diagramming is enabled, and then middle click a word with our mouse and drag it to where we want it. If we don't have a middle mouse button, we can hold the control button while clicking to achieve the same effect. We can move words anywhere after or below the word before it, but we can't change the order of the text. See how easy it is to diagram the text and to show the structural features of the text. To clear the position of a word, simply drag it on top of the word that precedes it. You can also double-click a word and move it with the toolbar buttons or hotkeys. That's all you need to know to make elaborate block diagrams of the text. Next, let's look at the quick tag buttons. We have 10 different quick tags that we can use to quickly add our favorite tags to the text. To edit a quick tag, simply hold down Shift and click the quick tag button, or hold down Shift-Alt and press its number on the keyboard. Once we set up a quick tag as we like, we can simply hit its button or shortcut key to quickly tag the text. Whatever tag and note we apply to the quick tag can be easily used to create new notes. Watch how easy it is to add lots of notes to the text. Simply enable a quick tag and then select or click some text to tag it. Press the Escape key to stop quick tagging the text. Also, if we want to copy one of the notes that is already on the text to a new one, we have a special function to copy its note to quick tag 0, and then tag some new text with it by simply selecting or clicking the text we want tagged. Finally, let's look at how the different views work in ScrollTag. There are 10 views in ScrollTag that allow us to work on multiple passages with different settings and to easily move back and forth between them. All of our display settings are saved for each view, as well as the passage we are currently viewing and which tags are enabled or disabled. View 0 is the default view that is loaded every time we start ScrollTag. To change to a different view, simply hit the Next View button to cycle through the views, or press Ctrl and the view number you would like to go to on the keyboard. To save our current settings to a view, press Ctrl-Shift and the view number on the keyboard that you wish to save your settings to. You can change what ScrollTag looks like when you start up by configuring the main window how you like, and then saving those options to view 0. Alternatively, you can have ScrollTag save your options every time you exit with the Save Settings on Exit option in the Settings window under the Advanced Options tab. We hope you've learned a lot through this tutorial and now can utilize more of the powerful options to mark the text available to you in ScrollTag.